Hello and welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune. Since 1886, our name has been a part of the world of journalism. We have earned a reputation for being a publication that practices integrity, authenticity, and responsibility. For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Well, we're very, very excited because today is a special day. We have a Los Angeles Tribune and Barnes & Noble special where we're actually presenting podcasts, entertainment, and books. And of course, my co-host here, let me introduce Daniel Rosso, who's actually a new member of the Los Angeles Tribune. And we're so proud to have him join us. He's going to be our digital tech guy. And so when it comes to podcasts, books, and entertainment, we also have the tech guy here. How excited are you, Daniel, for this event?
I'm very excited. I'm definitely looking forward to, hearing all this. And yeah, this is really exciting.
Absolutely. Well, just to give you a little bit of a sneak preview of what's going on, our team in the Los Angeles Tribune is actually in Barnes & Noble's in the Grove in Los Angeles. And they are doing a red carpet interview right now, and they're getting set up with the stage. We've got some speakers and panels. So this is going to be a very, very insightful evening because we're going to be featuring some of the Los Angeles Tribune best-selling authors, some of the podcasters in the LA Tribune Network, some of the contributors in the Los Angeles Tribune Women's Journal and the Vietnamese Journal. Hopefully they're there. But we have a growing journal family in the Los Angeles Tribune, and they're all going to be here today in addition to celebrity guests. We're going to have celebrity guests. Of course, it's Los Angeles, it's Hollywood. We got to have celebrities in there, right? So our team is still getting set up. Go ahead and share the stream because it's going to be really, really exciting. You're going to see behind the scenes of the red carpet, behind the scenes of how we're setting up. We have this initiative of partnering with Barnes & Nobles in really bringing books together and bringing books along to amplify the effect of books. Daniel, I'd like to ask you, what's your experience when it comes to books? And of course, I would like to, with that, as you answer it, take the opportunity to flash all of our hellos on the screen. But Daniel, let me know, what's your experience about books? What do you love about books?
What I love most about books is the knowledge, just being able to learn. In every book, you're able to learn something completely new, whether it's like just a basic story or just something to better enhance your career or just life as a whole.
Absolutely. I'd love to ask our audience. We've got people, Debbie Prediger, Carla Butts, Nicole Cowley, our journal and our Los Angeles Tribune podcast family. What does books mean to you? And then, of course, what's coming up next will be the question on podcasts, right? So, but let's start with books. Like, what does books mean to you? Would love to hear what your thoughts are. And I'm going to bring your answers. We've got people who are, joining in from the Philippines. Tell us also, what's the place? What's the location? Well, we've got Al, from Kuala Lumpur. And Debbie says LA is amazing. Nicole, thank you too. wonderful people of the Los Angeles Tribune community. So we're asking about what this book means to you. So we've got hello from Puerto Rico. Books for me means expansion. I love that, Nicole. And then Debbie says, books mean hope and possibility. Carla Butt says, books are a window to the world. I love that. As a child, I fell in love with books. You know, like it's just a book that you're looking at, but it's absolutely a window to the world. Love to learn. Exactly. You know, we learn from books. We read, we gain knowledge from it. And of course, we got hello from Canada. The Los Angeles Tribune is all over the globe. Whenever we come live, we've created a global network, a global audience, a global community, and we love, you know, really being able to reach the outskirts of the world whenever we come live. So thank you so much. Books for me is a key to the future. That is so beautiful, Mon. Knowledge and freedom. Yes, knowledge is freedom. How about you, Daniel? Start reading. You know, you got to take some of the shares in it. Lisa Tan's next. Lisa says books are fuel for imagination. This reminds me of Lisa Tan during the International Day of Peace having a monkey on her shoulder. That in itself is imagination, right? You know, hello from Washington State. And then we've got stories that change our lives and books help express them beautifully. Okay, so our next question is, tell us about what is your experience about podcasts? What does podcast means for you? You know, podcast is something new, I think, in the last 10 years, you know, or maybe more than that. How long has podcast been around, Daniel?
I'm sorry?
How long has podcasts been around that you know of? Because you're the tech guy.
I feel like they've always been around relatively, especially since like early 2000s, I'd say, or even sooner.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Where was I? I didn't know where podcast was like 10 years ago. So from Debbie Prediger, podcasts are such a great way to express ourselves. True. You know, we've got some lovely comments for Lisa Tan's monkey. Lisa Tan's monkey during the International Day of Peace was a favorite for the kids, you know, and Bongo with us today too. Really? Lisa, show us Bongo. Would love to be able to see. Okay, so our team in the Los Angeles Tribune in Barnes & Noble, the Grove, Los Angeles, if you look it up, it is such a gorgeous place. Like, the beautiful thing about the Grove in Los Angeles, it's actually the only Barnes and Nobles in the whole Los Angeles city, believe it or not. And I guess it's because it's so populated that there's very little place for other things, that it's the only Barnes and Noble in Los Angeles, and it's gorgeously located. You know, the Grove has a train, like an old train that runs through the mall. It's an outside mall, and the Barnes and Noble is a 2-story building, beautiful large windows. So we're excited to bring you the team as they're getting ready. We've got watching from Minnesota, Alan Manuel, my hubby. Also, before podcasts, we had call-in radio shows. They still are. You know, I covered the awards, the Marconi Awards for community radio programs, and it was so emotional when I covered them because it was phenomenal how they're a part of the community. They're so immersed. Just so our podcasters in LA Tribune Podcast has a relationship with their community. The radio programs that really cater to their local community know their community. It's amazing. Like when I was doing the Marconi Award coverage, you know, they are catering to people who are calling in because they're sad. They're calling in because they don't have supplies. They're able to connect, you know, supplies to needs, and they're able to cover local kids events and things like that. It was just beautiful to be able to see how much the local radio programs are still thriving, that are serving local communities. And of course, in the future, I could imagine that that's something that the podcast is also going to be growing into, in building communities. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments. Debbie Prodigy says radio programs cater to communities. Great point, absolutely. And I think podcasts are staples in our cars these days. Yes, and amen. I love my longer drives so I can listen to them. Absolutely. We are just thrilled because our team is still getting ready. We have this special partnership with the Los Angeles Tribune and Barnes and Noble to be able to bring you books, podcasts, and entertainment. Let me bring you, while we wait for them, a TEDx talk from our CEO, Mo Rock. And if they get ready sooner, we're going to have to continue Mo Rock a little later. But for now, we'd like to share with you the reason, the heart, the mission behind the Los Angeles Tribune.
Imagine waking up in the morning, grabbing your morning coffee, and opening up your daily newspaper to nothing but headlines that inspire and uplift you. Headlines like the Apollo 11 moon landing and how it inspired people in the 60s, or headlines like the Berlin Wall has collapsed, or even more recently, headlines like the miracle on the Hudson. What would that do to your day when you started off with just positive news? My name is Mo Rock. I'm the CEO of a national newspaper brand, and today, together, we are reimagining journalism. You see, studies reveal that there is a stark contrast between positive news and negative news. In fact, for every piece of news that is solutions-based, that can uplift and inspire you, there are at least 17 that don't. That's 17 to 1. So today, we are actually faced with an epidemic of negative news. We've all heard the phrase, if it bleeds, it leads. But why does this have to be the centerpiece of a lot of news production, journalism, and content creation of the world today? There are a lot of incredible journalists that are solutions-orientated, and I give a lot of credit to them for doing a great job. And here's the truth that you may not realize, is that everyone in this room is impacting our news. You see, every single time you like a post, every single time you leave a comment on a news article, and every single time you share something, you're not just liking, commenting, and resharing. You're actually casting a vote. You're not only casting a vote for the kind of news you want to consume, but believe it or not, you're casting a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. You see, I believe that news has the power to not just inform you, but it has the power to mold you. Our world views are largely shaped based on the news and content that we consume. And so I want to encourage folks to remember that the next time that they like, comment, and share. Our organization has one question that it always has to ask before we share anything, print anything, or publish anything. Our editorial team asks this one very simple question. Does the following piece of news empower our audience, or does it disempower our audience? What would the world look like if every content creator, every journalist, every time someone posted a news article, they asked that question? Does the following piece of content empower our audience or disempower our audience? And I want to encourage everyone to participate in this process and help us bridge that gap between 17 negative news articles for every one positive. And let's come together and ultimately make this world a better place. Thank you.
What an inspiration. I have never ceased to really be delighted to be reminded of our mission in the Los Angeles Tribune. This is why we've got communities coming together, because we believe that every comment, every share, and every like is a vote. And we get to have a say in the world that we live in and the world that we create for our children and our children's children. I'm just bringing up some of the comments. We've got a comment from Barbie Ray saying, Morak, do you make a world a better place? You do make the world a better place. Yes. Thank you, Mo. Let's cast a vote, Lisa Tan, for the news, positive news, and flip the ratio. That would be amazing, wouldn't it be, to flip the ratio? And we've got a comment from Mon from the Philippines. Thank you for helping us to see the silver lining for every situation. Beautiful. So our team is really getting it together still. And I think we're almost ready. I could see them in the back of the green room, except if our team can hear us. We've got a camera that's live, that's sideways. Would love to be able to see this, not sideways, so that I could bring it up on screen. I'm so excited to share this with you. How excited are you, Daniel, in bringing this event?
I'm really excited. It's just really exciting to hear about or hear from others of how they got from point A, or how they got to where they are now. And just really just inspirational.
You and me, yes, we're all good. Our team, like you and me, we're like, we can't wait. Debbie, look at you, excited to see what's happening. Me too. I'm excited to see what's happening too. Hello from the Philippines. This is going to be an amazing show. You know what I love about doing our broadcasts in the Los Angeles Tribune is that it's not a one-way. It's not even a conversation if it's one way. It's not a one-way speaking at you or talking at you. It is a dialogue. We're able to bring your comments in. We're able to bring it in. And yes, so we're excited. Now, you're just going to have to have an adventure with me. We're going to bring them up, not knowing what it's going to be like, but we're about to find out. We'll bring them up.
I'll have you introduce yourself. And then the floor again was.
So this is an adventure. I did say you're gonna have an adventure with me, because we're figuring this out. Some of the challenge that we have doing live broadcasts, especially that because we wanted to do it in the way that it's interactive with you, is sometimes your Wi-Fi signals or your signals aren't strong enough. I think that's what we're experiencing right now. Doria, congratulations on another awesome Los Angeles Tribune event. So we've got our team going on there, except that we're hoping to be able to see them and hear them quite loud.
Early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets are glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
give her a thunderous round of applause, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, have a seat, have a seat. All right, fantastic. Somebody said, okay, wait. Come on up, give her a thunderous round of applause.
Thank you, Michael. Hi, everyone. This is Ginger Warden. I'm the managing partner here at the Los Angeles Tribune with our excellent team here. Thanks for coming out tonight. Everyone's watching the live stream as well. Thanks for being here as well. So, more seed comfortabilization, which is to break the realm of the constraints of what traditional media used to be. In the back about the collective consciousness, about the collective transformation that we can do one by one, because you guys are all writers, entrepreneurs, artists, and you have a voice. And traditionally in the past, those voices were kind of in the construct of corporate, I don't want to say too much here, control. And there's lanes to follow. If you do this or this, you gotta know this person or that person, and maybe if you scratch the right back, you will get ahead and your voice will be heard. But sometimes, you know, time changes and construct changes. That was 1886 when we started the Tribune. Not me. But that was traditional media. Today, the Tribune is a legacy brand that is about you. You, because you're writers, you're artists, you're entrepreneurs, and you have a voice that everyone needs to hear. Whether it's a podcast, it's a book, it's a writing on websites, it's transformational. We're living in a time where there's a lot of economically, politically, caught up in the wave of all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you feel stifled. You have partners you feel disassociated with. But if you have avenues to participate in, to collaborate in, to contribute, you move the needle forward. And that's what we're going to do with the Tribune. So I want to thank Paul Rock, who's not here tonight, and the Tribune team.
Right there.
So we're going to get started with the program here. And I'm going to call you back upstairs.
I know you are.
Here.
That's good.
Thank you again for being here tonight. And thanks.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. All right. So what I'd like to do, let me have that mic. This mic's a little hotter. Okay, good. Stay up here with me. So do we have that thing we were going to? You know,
thing.
It's up here. Okay, good. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. So without any further asked her to be here to really be part of the show. She's literally flying out, so she'll be doing this and then leaving. She's world-renowned recording artist. For me, it's a pleasure because she was actually a large part of my life and a part of what I listened to and a part of what moved many. You know, thank you for being here. It's great to have you here as part of the Tribune. And before we just dive into the interview, which is just be a minute or two, we'd like to honor you and honoring your body of work. And it's not just about your body of work. It's about what you've created on the planet. It's about the children that you saved. It's about the organizations that you work for. And you also just show, if you find the thing that you love to do and you're going to make a difference and change lives, you never stop. Does that make it, you know, and that to me is the biggest thing. So if Alicia, there we go. Wonderful, beautiful Alicia, thank you so much.
And as you present that, I want to add one more thing too. Is that one of your new tracks is called Possibilities, right? And it's about I believe in you. And tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna say it there again. I believe in you. You believe in me. and possibilities fulfilling our aspirations. And that's what she did. So we want to thank you on behalf of the Tribune, Bishop. Being a marker of change, innovation, moving the needle forward as an artist and as a human being, Sheila E.
So, Sheila E, on behalf of Mo Rock, the CEO of Los Angeles Tribune and the entire Los Angeles Tribune team, we're honored to be with the Los Angeles Tribune Lifetime Achievement Award for all of the work that you've done to spread love all around the world through your artistry, through your essence, through your being. Connect with people. When people say your name, you just light up, and that shows the impact that you have on people, but not their mind, their heart. So I just want to honor you, recognize you, and greet you today.
Especially in tech now.
I want to thank you because you really have. You've changed a lot of us. You've made it different. And I've been watching a lot of your interviews recently because you're on some shows that I love to watch anyway. Well, I thought you just bring life. And I think that's a big part. But could you tell our audience, because this is going out around the world, could you tell our audience a little bit about the question that always comes up is, what keeps you going? Because the today, like you did, what keeps you going every single day? And what's that that you love to do that just drives you forward?
Yeah, I mean, for me, first and foremost, is that, because my life would be different if I didn't have it in my life. So God is the ultimate savior for me. And God, then comes family, and then my music. And it's pretty interesting. I was explaining to someone earlier that, God has given me the gift to take a lesson in my life, which is crazy. I know people hate hearing that, but I have to share my truth. I've never taken a lesson in my life. I watched my dad play. I watched him play growing up. He's an incredible percussionist. And watching him play every day and having music in the house every day was normal for us. Not as much television, but just music. Him practicing vinyl every day. And then there were jam sessions throughout the week. And then once in a while, then his entire band is in the living room. So I grew up in the environment of music. But watching him play, he was self-taught as well as myself. And at one he said to me, when you play violin, you don't want to play percussion. So third grade, I took violin. But my ear was so quick, again, just listening. I became first violinist, not really teacher. It was a thing of just listening and being able to play something that you would play automatically. It would look different, but it would sound the same. And so I say that because I always tell the students to make sure that you learn how to read music, that you practice every day. Like my dad, I'm watching him practice. I don't practice either. I'm sorry to say. That's not good to say. However, I look at it as this. I was training to be in the Olympics when I first started. My mom is an athlete and she's the tomboy, so I got that from her. But having both sides really helped me to connect to do what I do because it's very physical as well. And it's challenging to be able to move from one instrument to the other and do it And at the time that I was doing it, there were not a lot of women at all playing. So what I get to do for me, going back to your question, is I do it because I love it so much. And when I first became a professional musician at 15 years old, I told my dad when I played with him that one show, I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to win a gold medal in the Olympics. Now I want to win a gold album. Well, that happened. So it was like, this is what I want to do. I didn't even realize that. But then, I go to play some shows with other artists and stuff, and they wanted to pay me. I was like, no, you can't pay me because I love what I do. Like, that doesn't, they don't fit together. I love this. This is not a job. So I felt offended that they gave me money. And then my dad said, look in the refrigerator, you're gonna take that money. So, but I love what I get to do because, like I said, it's a gift, and I love it with so much passion. And to this day, whether it be playing for 1, 2, 3 people or 10,000, 60 million people, when we're on television, whatever, my feeling is the same, and it's that knowing that God has given me the gift. It's the butterflies that I get and the nervousness and the excitement of going, I get to do this again, and we look at it as this, as God given us the gift. It is about that love that we get to share throughout the world. And sharing that love is so important that if we, in the room, we can all agree that when people come to see us perform, we love music, so we can all agree in one room that we love music. And for us, music is God and God is music and music is love. And so I ask everyone in the room that this is the only way that we can save lives, is to love each other unconditionally, because love and hate cannot exist in the same atmosphere. That's the part of the ministry of music for me, and that's why I do it so much, because what we get to put out, I mean, I know we get so much back, but the love that we get to share, I tell everyone, if you tell a stranger before you leave this room, and I have everyone stand up, if you tell that person, a person that you do not know, look them in the eyes and say, I love you, you might be saving someone's life right now. And that is the point of the entire show, is when we get to that moment, this is why I do it, because my entire team is my family, and this is not work. The only job that we ever have right now is to bless one person. That is the part of just giving and being a servant of God, to be able to spread and give him the glory, that knowing that he has given us that gift. That's why I do it.
Give that a round of applause. With the career you've had and all the people that you've been in front of, and watching the interviews and you for a long time, it's there's always the question comes up. Prince always comes up. I watched even every interview, so I'm trying not to go there. But we had sort of a pre, and the question came up. But it was really a team. You had a team of people around you, because for what you did, it was also, you've always really accentuated your team. You've introduced the people around you. Can you talk about how important that is to have that team, and really how you brought them up with you?
No, they brought me up. That's why you have a team. They bring you up. I don't bring them up. I'm a part of a team. I watched my dad and how he treated his musicians, and they were family, and it's a community. It's the passion. It's the love. To just be able to, if you can't get along off stage and you come onto the stage, it's not gonna sound right, because what we're doing together is conversation. And I can't listen to you if you're not listening to me, and we can't have a conversation. Otherwise, we're just playing loud, and then it becomes noise, and it's not music. So that team, I love being surrounded by people and ideas and things that I've never done. It started like that, then I lost my way, and I came back again. So it's that learning experience, life, it's that learning experience. As long as I think we fail forward, is more important, not trying to fail. You gotta fail in order to be successful. Fail forward is so important.
Unfold. You said, I get to do this. I have to. And also the ministries, I feel like we're in church, we're learning. And the congregation here today, have now, you're going from genre to genre. You're going into music now. Pick up the dialogue. Check it out. I'm talking about thing too. Music. It was like check that about but what I want to ask is how do you keep that joy?
I could see that we've lost our signal from the event. So we're going to get them back. But for now, I love that we were able to award Sheila E. a Los Angeles Tribune Lifetime Achievement Award for the work that she does, how she uses her music to be able to reach the world and make a difference. And that's one of the things that we love doing at the Los Angeles Tribune is we love recognizing and honoring people who make a difference in the world. The very same reason why we have the LA Tribune bestseller, the LA Tribune bestseller for books, and also, the awards and recognition that we give to leaders and experts out there. Wanted to bring in, as our team is bringing up their technology once more, some of the comments, giving and being a servant of God, profound, from Debbie. Sheila E. touched my soul. Would love to hear that sometime, Crystal Chow, if you could share that with us. Love her humility for sure. You've learned so much from music. I love the stories. And we've got such a community that just really appreciates also and recognizes all of this awesomeness. As we wait for our team to come back, drop on the chat, what was it that what's your favorite that Sheila has played on, that Sheila E. has contributed? I've seen that, there are some Sheila E. fans on our global audience. Would love to know. Okay, I think we're also coming right back. Let me bring back our stage camera. And our audio is going to go with it.
For them and for us, what would you say is that part to hold on to hope?
Yeah, and that's the part is holding on it. The hope is very powerful as well. You have to have hope in order to survive and live every day. Hopeful moments, hopeful things, being hopeful about life. Life is a challenge, it's struggling. Everybody in this room right now is going through something. There's not one person in here that's like, oh, I'm not going through anything. That's a lie. I mean, it's life in itself is a struggle. They never said it was going to be easy. It's challenging. It's how you relate to life and the decisions that you make and how you deal with options. And I mean, we have the option of choice, and choice is one of the hardest things to deal with. And going through life in itself is like, there's things that people do to us in the industry all the time, man. I mean, bringing you down, it's crazy, the industry in itself, and you can't listen to all that stuff. You got to take time to just get away and have your self-care, self-awareness is very, very important. So you try to surround yourself, and if you can, I mean, I'm blessed to be able to have both my parents still, and they just celebrated 3 days ago 68 years of marriage. Wow. So that in itself, exactly that part. So, it's I mean, for even my dad still playing, and he played with us last week, and I mean, it's challenging physically as well, and you just go out and you just try to enjoy life. Go listen to music, do something that makes you happy, I mean, again, I started professionally at 15. I will be 67 in a month and a half or so. This is not easy. Oh my God, if I could tell you, we don't even have enough time to tell you what I got to do to make it happen. But it's still, no matter what, the struggle is real, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it to be a servant and bring joy to people's lives.
This goes fast. It always does. So I'm getting
yeah, let's go. We're done.
I want to thank you. First of all, give her a thunderous round of applause. And let me tell you the heart that's here, and then we'll let you go because you got to fly. But I had mentioned that we now own a farm. in
Yes.
Modesto, California.
Yeah.
And that we're going to look at working with Jane Goodall's Institute and the Roots and Shoots. The first thing from Sheila is like, we'll come, we'll be there, any way we can support. Those are the kind of people you want to work with no matter who they are. So please give Miss Sheila E. a thunderous round of applause.
God bless you. And if you haven't heard it today or in a long time, just to let you know, all of you, I just want to say I love you. You are loved, and just know that you are more than enough. Don't forget that. You're more than enough, all right? God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Lots of love.
Jesus, give her another round of applause. Awesome. Awesome. All right, fantastic. You ready to move on? Ready to have more? Say, I am. Ready for more. Awesome. Fantastic. So our next amazing guest. All right, we're ready? We're good over? Okay. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm going to throw you off. Is that? And no, you can stay up all you want.
I'm ready.
You're making it easy for me. This is good. Oh, hold on. Mo, we got some stories to tell. So, I know it's good, isn't it? All right, so our next amazing guest, there's two of them. Say how many? Two. Oh, fantastic. Our next, Aaron. Yes. We got to go. We'll go. Yeah, okay. Our next amazing guest, they're getting ready, is this gentleman, and I won't do what I did last time, but this gentleman is really changing the planet. He's got a huge podcast and a YouTube show that is really making a difference every single day for lives. He's been on General Hospital for over, 45, 50 years, maybe 60 now? And he was also, and I do have to say, because you were Nico and all my children, I will never forget that. That's my college days. I'm going to say it again. But let's give it up for Anna DeMarcus and Mr. Maurice Benard. Thank you so much. How are you? Awesome. Awesome. Here, we'll keep moving this way. Sandra. Saji. And, grab a mic. Grab a mic. No, grab a mic.
Come on, grab a mic.
Oh, you'll be right there? You sure? Okay, good. Go. All right, fantastic. So, welcome back. We've done this before, haven't we? It is good to have you here. So what we're going to do is, it's really, for our audience, I think the important part again is, why don't you talk a little bit about your show? And I think really talking about your show, I want them to know a little bit about your story again, because I remember it's a different audience always, and it was so impactful last time. We had so many comments. Just a little bit about your story again, and why you're doing your show, because you don't have to. It's not what it's about. It's about the life and the mission that you're on. And then please chime in anytime, and I'm going to go grab another mic too after they're back here.
Well, I started out as an actor. I mean, I'm still an actor. But when I first started, I was told not to talk about being bipolar because I wouldn't get hired, because people would think that I would go crazy on the set. So I didn't talk about it. And then one day I did a little article and didn't think anything of it, and I got a letter from a boy who said what he read from me helped him get over his brother committed suicide. So from that day on, I said, I'm gonna talk about being bipolar, and that's what I've been doing for over 31 years. But I will say this, I did Oprah back in the day. I was scared, petrified. And my wife was she was 8 months pregnant. And the first question she said to my wife was, how did you feel when Maurice threatened to kill you? And I said, oh, we're starting here, huh? And my wife said, she said, did you think he was? And my wife said, I didn't know. And I said, what do you mean you didn't know? And she goes, well, honey, you weren't you. And people have said to my wife, why did you stay with him? And she says, because it wasn't him. He was sick. And that's the illness, It's scary, but it takes you over. We getting deep here or what?
Yeah, keep going.
So, I I started General Hospital 31 years ago. In the first 2 weeks, I had a breakdown, my third manic episode, and I quit the show. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So 2 weeks later, I had to go back, or else I'd be fired. Went back, and the first day, I couldn't remember a line. Not a word. And I was crying in the room, and the producer said, "You can do it." I said, "I can't remember a line." She goes, "We'll take it page by page, line by line if we have to." And I did it. And it was one of the hardest things I've done at that time, to have to go back there and act. They didn't know me, right? So the character is bipolar, like me. And I thought it was cool being a method actor because, look, this is great. I don't even have to do anything. I'm bipolar, Sonny's bipolar. Well, what's happened over the years is, and I didn't know this was going to happen, it's been great for acting, but for my mental health and my life, not good. It's taken me down quite a few times. So anyway, I created State of Mind. It's a show that I do when we talk about mental health. We talk about bipolar, depression, life, suicide, everything, and it's really cool because the vibe is cool. Because I'm not an interviewer, but I'm a great listener, and it's like So check it out, State of Mind.
They're just getting me a mic, that's all.
Oh.
So that would be good. Thank you. The thing is, though, that you're doing the thing that you love to do, right? Because being an actor, right, you've done it a long time, but you're also creating a difference every day, and that's part of all we do. That's part of who we are and why we should do it. So, Anna, talk a little bit about why you guys are doing the show that you're doing and the direction that one's going to.
Well, a couple of years ago, I believe I approached Maurice and Paula and said, I would like to do a talk show with Maurice, similar to a Regis and Kathy Lee. I know I'm dating myself. But Maurice has never co-hosted a talk show full time. And I think it would be really great to show our relationship, our friendship on camera, because we have a very interesting relationship. It's very brotherly, sisterly type of situation. He's been married for 35 years. I'm divorced. I employed him to find me a husband. He has not succeeded so far. I'm just saying.
So we are now doing the Los Angeles Tribune relationship show. We're gonna still not be harmony. We shouldn't say that because they'll tag us on that one. Yeah, keep going.
So I said, can we do a show called the Anna and Maurice Show? He said, no, we can do the Maurice and Anna Show. I said, deal. I said, I'll put it together. I'll make it really simple. All you have to do is just show up and give me a little bit of your time and your wisdom. And we created some magic, and Paula believed in it. And we are family. I am the godmother to his granddaughter. And we are there for each other in really difficult times. Paula and Maurice came into my life at a very difficult point in my life. They basically know everything about me, and he is truly like a brother to me, and Paula is a sister to me, and he always wanted a sister, so God sent him me.
Wow.
And he's just truthfully one of the kindest, most generous human beings I've ever met in my entire life. And he has become my family. And I do not treat my friends as friends. I treat them as family. And a lot of them are here tonight. So the Tribune is the family to us. And I want to say thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Give them a round of applause, but you're not done yet. So.
Yeah.
We'll go faster. Yes, you may, of course.
About 4 months ago, I went through something very traumatic, and I hate to always bring it down, but it's just reality of life. And it was very scary, and it was tough. And I realized what friendship is. And she and my friend over there that's not paying attention, Majid, he and a few other friends they got me through a time that, who knows what could have happened if they weren't there. And I always think like they do it without any hesitation, without anything wanting back. It was just love and get me through. It was like, wow. Even when I was in this, I would marvel of how she would, because I would have been like, get the hell out of here at this point, But I did learn what friendship is, and it's amazing. Because I didn't have my wife; she was in Italy, and my son, who usually talked me down. So I had to have them, and they were amazing.
Give that a round of applause. It is the people around you, right? And sometimes, wherever you are in life, make sure that you surround yourself by people that, support and care for you, and also at times kick our behinds, right? Move us through whatever that is, because sometimes we get stuck, and it's like we need that gentle nudge. We don't need somebody who's a sledgehammer, but even that nudge to move us through. We only have a couple minutes. This always goes so fast. Could you just tell us one story about General Hospital or one time, something that you remember that was either just one of those moments you really learned from?
Well, after the pandemic, which is another period of mine, I went back to work after 4 months, and the person who played my father was dying of Alzheimer's. And the reality was my father was also dying of Alzheimer's. So it's like a method thing with me, right? So one thing I learned, this is an acting thing, because I was petrified. And I had monologues. And I went in and I said, don't act, just live. Just say it. Because my dad's dying, this character's dying, and it worked out. I got 2 Emmys out of that.
Wow. Give that a round of applause. Sorry about the situation, but it is. I think it's the things that are around us that we learn from. I think it's the things that, right, and we have the ability of what we do with it, and then the other people are watching us. Family, friends, cousins, nieces, nephews, and what we do and how we do it. And it's like, because every day I talked about as a grandparent, I do it for my grandkids. I'm continuing to do it as my it's not that I have to, but I want to. And I want to keep changing the planet. I want to see what they have, but also their friends and their families and what we can do. I want to thank you for being here again. Were you on set today, or you really, last time you literally left the set and shot over?
Yeah, I was on set today.
I thought so. Give that a round of applause, because what those days are like. And also, there are 2 amazing shows they're going to be bringing over to the Los Angeles Tribune Podcast Network. So give that a round of applause.
I can't wait, man. You're a good guy, and I love you.
You keep showing up. It's showing up.
No, I love
That's
this
what Sheila was saying about just showing up.
It's great. I mean, why not?
I know. Thank you. Why not?
Right.
And make a difference every day.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you too. First of all, give it a round of applause again. Are you going to be sticking around with us a little bit? I didn't know if you. Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. She's the boss.
I thought so.
See, now he's got it right.
And last time we were here, the show ran really late. Remember, it ran really late. And I thought, oh, Maurice got to go because he's got set. He's going to be on set tomorrow morning. He was still back there just chatting with everybody. So don't attack him yet. When we're done, we'll red carpet and we can schmooze and talk. And the other thing, too, is remember, when you talk to somebody or ask them about themselves, ask them about themselves. Oh, gosh, hey, Maurice, by the way, I'm a big actor up and coming, and I'd love to know, and can you help me become a better... No, Maurice, is there anything I can do for you? And how can I be of service? Let it go from there. If Maurice wants to know more, he'll ask you. Does that make sense? Really be there for them. So first of all, give Anna and Maurice a thunderous round of applause. Thank you so much for being here. They're all nice. There you go. You're good. All right. Great. All right. Fantastic. We're going to keep moving. And by the way, is Rachel back there anywhere? Alicia? Is Rachel back there anywhere? What? Okay. Fantastic. Let me know when she's back. Okay. For the next. Okay. Because you know why. All right. Next, this is again education and information. This next gentleman, not only, I'm going to mention it, your company, right?
Bring it on.
Not only does he have Laughlin, which has, give this a round of applause, 48,000 clients. Give that a round of applause, right? But he's been huge in my industry for teaching, training, education, for bringing it to really, for teaching students on stage how to take their business from here to the next steps, always caring about what he does. He gets calls from major CEOs around the world saying, can you help me here? Can you give me some ideas? And he's a business partner of mine because I find the best mentor and ask them, will they join? Everybody got that? Find the best mentor. Let's give it up for Mr. Aaron Young.
Thank you, guys.
You're an author? Oh, right here. This is good. Yeah, we're close. We know each other. This is good. And we can touch knees. It'll be okay.
This will be fun.
So we're both grandparents, so sometimes we just talk about the grandkids,
Just talk
right?
about the babies.
Or when we have calls, we'll be like, man, I'm tired today, because we have the kids all day today, but it's all good. We love them.
At some point, you're too old to be chasing all the little kids, but you still do it. And you look forward to it.
You do.
And when they go home, you go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and just when you think you finished changing diapers, there's another one on the way.
Baby born.
Every single time.
10 grandkids right now for us.
Give a round of applause on that.
Right? Nothing better than that. None of the business stuff. Nothing is more important than the family.
No.
And
So what's the name of your book?
The new book is called Unshackled, and I was very delighted to hear they told me that for this event it was the one that sold the most copies.
Give that a round of applause.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I don't know if anybody here. Well, thank you. Here's the new book, Unshackled, and this book is really. I started my first company at 19 with a payroll with employees, and I'm 60 now. So that's a long time to be making a payroll. And we were the first recycling business in Portland, Oregon. Then I sold that and became one of the first cellular phone guys in 1986 and ended up with 5 locations, and then blah, 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 blah. But the main thing is that I learned, and it's what we talk about here, is same rules apply. So you got to write that one down. If you want to accomplish things over and over again over time, same rules apply. If you figure out a formula that works, you can do it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter the industry. It doesn't matter the size, the scale of it. Generally speaking, if you get these things done in the right order, you have a very high likelihood of success. And so that's what the book is just about. How have we built 3 dozen multi-million-dollar companies where I don't have to go to work? We can build it and it runs without me having to run the company.
Yeah, and that's because that's part of what he's teaching me, by the way. I have a tendency of getting in there and wanting to be in there, and I'm still in there, and I'm in the trenches, but then it's that trust factor of how do you actually pull yourself out and let the people do what they should do. The other thing too, I just want to let you know about the book is we made sure that for most of you here, if you go to the back when we're done, there's a copy for most of you. So give that a round of applause. And Aaron will sign it back there. You can talk to him at that point. Isn't that good? We take care of everybody. That's what we do.
Yeah.
The other thing too is with everything that you've created, you still enjoy life, and because you've created what you talk about in the book, which is the time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Is there anybody here a business owner or aspiring business owner? Oh, a number of you. Okay. So the big problem that we see is that people become a slave to what they're working on. Is that true? I mean, you're working all the time. And if you want to grow, you put in more hours usually. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest problems is as you start to get traction in that burgeoning business, you go, oh my gosh, I'm finally making some money. And you consume more of it. You go, maybe I can get a little nicer car. We can go out to dinner more often, or buy a house finally, or whatever it is you're dreaming of. And you consume the money. Does anybody know this? Does anybody ever have this experience? And then when you get burdened, the business is good and you've got a lot of action and you need help. So this is the first question I ask whenever I go into a smaller company that wants help. I say, to the owner, I say, are you willing to take a pay cut? Guess what they always say? No. They always say no. And I say, well, then it's going to be a harder slog for you, because there's got to be enough enough fuel left from all the activity to be able to bring on somebody to help you. And if you can figure out how to live small for a little while and pay some really good people, the best people you can afford to hire, and bring them in and let them work, what you'll find out is pretty quick, if you get the best people you can afford, you will end up with all kinds of ideas that you would have never had. You'll figure out you don't have to work as many hours. You'll find out that you suck at some things that they really excel at. Yeah, and that's when I've worked with big CEOs. There's 3 questions, okay? And you might want to consider this. I ask, this is when the door is closed and nobody else is there. I say, what are you great at? What do you suck at? What do you most not want me to know about you as a business leader? And I'll tell you, I don't care who it is, they always cry. They always cry because they find out, they say, it doesn't matter if they're running a big, publicly traded, well-known company. If people knew how much of this I'm having to make up as I go along, I don't think they would follow me anymore. Well, so if you feel that way, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Go, I know what I'm great at and I know what I suck at, and I'm going to surround myself with people who play at the things I have to work at. And when you do that, pretty soon you start to exponentially grow. And if you then will empower your team, this is what you were asking about a minute ago. If you then empower your team to act in the office that you've assigned to them, you can stand back and you get your life back. And you move from being the most critical employee or the president to the chairman of the board of directors. You guide and direct the company, but you're not the most important employee. That is the trick to becoming wealthy, but also free. You can be financially free, but you have time. I know a lot of rich people who are in prison. I don't mean federal prison. Some, but here's the deal, really serious. If you want real success, you've got to be willing to surround yourself with people who lift you up and who excel at things where you're weak. If you do that, you have a high likelihood of tremendous success.
You know, the other thing too about that is let's do this again with the audience. How many of you are authors, speakers, trainers, entrepreneurs, attorneys, dentists? You have a business, you've been out there, you work with somebody else. Raise your hand. Everyone, okay.
Everyone, please raise their hand.
And the rest of them,
for a nonprofit.
Yeah, the rest of them will not raise their hand no matter what we say, so it doesn't matter. That's where this information is for everybody, because that's the biggest thing that I saw is really what you've done in your, I'm looking at a history book saying in your history, but in your career and everything that you've built, it's for everybody, because you can use it if you run a nonprofit, if you run whatever you do. This is information that you should have, because even as an actor or a singer, or we do the same thing. Oh, I'm the best at what I do. We circle the wagons and we forget about the team that takes us. Like, what did Sheila say, right? Your team raises you up. So you want that team around you. Can you talk? We have a couple minutes. You can see the timer too, like that.
Yeah.
Talk about teams a little bit.
Well, a minute ago, I was talking about teams, saying surround yourself with the right people. Let me talk about this. I'm not trying to pitch the book, but the book is really a 40.
Most of you are getting a copy anyways. Go to the back.
But it's a result of 40 years of doing this, and we purposely. My co-author is one of my students we took his company from about $1.5 million to $50 million in revenue in 4 years by following the precepts. And I said, and he was in Romania in a tech business. And I said, let's take a guy at the time and he's 59 years old in business services and a 32-year-old in tech in Romania and show that same rules apply. That's what the book is. But we built it not exclusively for owners, but for anybody who's managing. So if you're managing a project, you could manage your family by using these same precepts. It doesn't have to just be for business. My wife and I have been married almost 38 years, okay? And happily married. My best friend, 4 kids and either 7 or 10 grandkids, depending on how you want to carry biological or bonus as well. But the point is, these same precepts of begin with the end in mind, Stephen Covey, And then so decide what's the goal that we're gonna achieve, and surround yourself with the right people and get organized and keep people accountable. It's the same old stuff that people have heard. I've had a big Fortune 500 senior management person say, these principles, I read your book and I know all this stuff in the book, but I've never seen anybody put it in a way that was so easily digestible for everybody and that didn't leave anything out. So when you're trying to build something, you don't have to make it complicated. It doesn't have to be hard, but you do have to be disciplined. It's very easy to veer off on little rabbit trails. You must be willing to not have a great team, but to empower a great team. Because if you get great people around you and then you're constantly bossing them around and being the bottleneck to the progress of your business, they will leave you and go find something else to do. But if you find yourself surrounded by great people and you say, okay, you tell me, this is your stewardship, what are you going to do? And you're responsible. Those people will become so innovative, so creative. They'll come up with so many cool things that you would have never thought of. And people will come up and pat you on the back and say, wow, you're so great. But in fact, most of the great things that happen from your people. And you just get to sit up here with a microphone in front of a live stream when you know there are 50 people back there making it all happen for you. It's a real blessing to live that kind of life.
Give Mr. Aaron Young a thunderous round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here. So by the way, after we're done, go back to the back and we have books for pretty much everybody. If we don't, we'll figure it out. Everybody got that? Awesome. You guys ready for more?
Oh yeah.
I told you we're moving quick. It's like a TikTok generation here. So one thing I'd like to do is we at the Tribune we award. But part of giving an award is it's really saying thank you. It's saying thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for bringing this together. And this person I'm about to bring up is the reason that this is happening right now. It's the reason that the shows at Barnes & Noble are here to educate, enrich, enhance, make a difference. So everybody give a thunderous round of applause for Rachel K. Let's bring her up. Awesome. So, and you tell them what you do.
I am the director of events for Barnes & Noble at the Grove, where we are.
And how many applications a month do you get to have events here?
I lose count.
Yeah,
yes, a lot.
It's stunning. I know the numbers are stunning.
I talk to a lot of people.
You do talk to a lot of people, and you have a lot of very large names here by people who have been very successful, and people who are new authors, and people so she makes it happen for everyone. Give that a round of applause. Yeah. And with that, we'd love to say thank you. And saying thank you is because you're helping us bring the show to the house. You're helping us do all of this and making a difference in millions of lives. I'm going to turn this over to Alicia.
So, Rachel, thank you so much for all you do. You really curate space here. You create community. Just last week, Ryan Seacrest is here with his sister for a children's book, and there were so many individuals, parents that were here with their kids, but really parents here to really experience what that was about. That is just one day, one glimpse of the work that you do. But you and your entire team, they do custom stands of books here. Rachel is responsible for selecting the books that are in the store. And this is such a historical and impactful Barnes & Nobles because of where it is in Los Angeles. There's so many people that are part of the arts community that come here and celebrate their creativity through their work. You had Jay Ellis here, who was an actor on Insecure, and he's talked about his journey navigating being an author and how that was so different for him, right? When you act, you get to act out the words on someone else's pages through the script. But when you're writing a book, and I know there are many authors here, it takes a lot out of you to be able to pour out into your book. So Rachel, on behalf of Mo Rock, our CEO of the Los Angeles Tribune, Ava V. Manuel, our editor-in-chief, and the entire Los Angeles Tribune team, we are honoring you and recognizing you with the Outstanding Leader in Cultivating Community in the Literary Space Award for all that you do to connect authors, foster deep conversation around books, and learn insights around the creative process. So we just want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much. And you spelled my name right.
Yes, we
That's
did.
incredible.
The little things, right?
Yeah, the little things. it's wonderful. I started this company just as a cashier, and this company has so much opportunity for growth, and it's so innovative, like you said, creating displays that are just based off our interests and the interests of the people that shop at this store. So we do know our community well. We appreciate our community and love our community, and we love having them attend our events. And I just love meeting people and creating relationships. I really appreciate this. It is a lot like writing. It's kind of a thankless job. When you're writing for a long period of time, you're sitting in front of a computer, and it's just really nice to have recognition for the hard work that I do. So thank you.
Sandhu. We're just going to take a quick picture. This might get louder, or is it just me? All right. So, I see that. All right, ready? All right. Give her a thunder for I'll take that. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, fantastic. So, you ready to keep going?
Let's go.
All right, so let's see how energy goes. Everybody, please stand up. Please stand up. Turn to your right. Say, God, you are good looking. All right. Hold on. Turn to your. See, it's like they're all friends here. Turn to the left now. If you got nobody on the left, just make it somebody you think you know and say, but I'm better looking. All right. Have a seat. Have a seat. There we go. Bettina, how's the stream going? Everything good back there? All right, fantastic. All right, the next gentleman I'm about to bring up, and by the way, everybody's going to be here after, so if you have conversations, that's a good time to do it. During the show, we try to keep everybody focused and in front. Does that make sense? Awesome, fantastic. So with that being said, the next gentleman I'm about to bring up, he's got more stories about life, and we only have him on for 3 minutes. He didn't know that yet. But not only was he the PA for Axl Rose, and we could spend all night on that. Give that a round of applause. Not only did he tour with, you toured with Air Supply, didn't you? Yeah, I know. Give that a round of applause. Were you with them in 1980? I saw them at the Forum. Were you? Was that? Oh, I missed you. I feel so bad then. But he has his own amazing career. He's been a speaker on stage for a long, long time. We put him on major stages with Peak Potentials and many other companies with T. Harv Eker. He's really been changing lives every single day. His son is up and coming, and I'm so excited that whole story. Let's give it up for Mr. Craig Duswalt. Oh,
should I throw out t-shirts now?
You should. You should do the t-shirt. Oh, you got to have them play in that tune.
I know.
Oh, we should have done that. That was
I just want to say before I start, I'm really disappointed because I'm sitting back there, and on the schedule, I was after Aaron. And then you said, the next person that comes up here, we're giving an award. I thought I was getting an award when it was her. What the hell?
You know what? It's my love for you that is all the word you need. You know, is that good?
You're starting off the suck.
I know. See that?
Anyway.
See that? All right, so
I'll play.
Mark down. Next time he comes in 2029, we're gonna give him an award. Okay, got that? All right, we got that. See? Oh, so you don't need an award. You are an award.
Yeah,
you're like a walking award. So, you know, we're having it's a great night. Say hi to the audience. We always got to make sure. Hi, audience. There they go. The international audience. Yeah.
Oh, that one. Hi.
Yeah. There we go. They're good. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, we talked about leadership, obviously, and teams and everything you've done. And you were a team of your own in a way sometimes, right? But talk a little bit of what keeps you going, because with what you did and being the PA for Axl, let alone, but what keeps you going every day?
Adrenaline, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's weird. So let me just share this, and that will lead into that. So when I first got out of college, 1926, I think it was, I got out of college and I got a job at a theater in Long Island, New York, Westbury Music Fair. And I wanted to be an actor. And that's why I got the job at the theater. I said, oh, I want to be an actor. And I'm working there for about a week. And all of a sudden, Air Supply comes in. And they do 2 shows. Friday night, I'm working the show. And Saturday night, I'm not scheduled to work the show. But my mother wants to go see Air Supply, and she wants me to take her to the show. So I take her to the show, and my dating life is now over. So I'm at the show with Air Supply the second night. And during the concert, she says, I really want to meet the band. Can you get me backstage? And I'm thinking, great, my mother's a groupie. So I bring her backstage to meet the band, of which I don't know them. I only met them the night before. I was a gopher. I got drinks. I got towels for the band. That's all I was the lowest man on the totem pole there. And so they come in the second show. I bring my mom backstage. I introduce her to Air Supply again. I don't know who they are, but I introduce her. And this big 6'5", 300-pound guy walks up to me and he says, "You were the guy that was working here last night, right?" And I said, "Yes, I am, Mr. Very Large Man." And he says, "How much do you make a week here?" And I thought, it's none of your business, but he was huge. So I answered the question and I said, "About $150 a week." And he said, "How would you like to quadruple that?" And so many things went through my mind of what this man wanted me to do to him for $600 a week, but I'm figuring I'm in, I'll do whatever you want. And they said this, and this is what it is. They saw you working last night, and they liked your positive attitude and your energy, and they just want to be around you, and they want you to go on the road. They sent a limousine to my house the next morning, took me to JFK Airport, put me on a Learjet to Wallingford, Connecticut, and I met the band up for there, and I toured with them for 7 years, simply because I was always doing my best just in case someone is watching. That's what keeps me going. I have a bountiful of energy 24/7. That's why my adrenals will run out at some point. I turn 63. I'm waiting next month, and I'm waiting for them to run out. But until they run out, I'm good. But I wake up every day. Like, I love what I do. I'm a speaker. I teach entrepreneurs how to be rock stars in their business. And I have a lot of fun.
You do, and you do have a lot of energy. First of all, give him a round of applause just for the energy. Yes. I wasn't going to have you do this too, but could you just?
I know you're going to
We got to watch the time and everything.
Yeah.
So okay, so go ahead, tell stories.
I knew you were going to say.
Okay.
All right. I got a really funny Guns N' Roses story. So we have to turn the camera off for this one. No, I'm kidding. All right. I'll tell the PG story because I got a lot of. I wrote a book that's in this store somewhere. Welcome to my jungle. I've written like 14 books. So this one is all about Guns N' Roses. My days touring with Guns N' Roses. So in the tagline of my Guns N' Roses book, it has something to do with Axl Rose's moth extermination system. He has a system for getting rid of moths in his house. Now, when you have a lot of money, you come up with creative ideas on how to get things done. So I'm at his house. We're having dinner. Anyone know who Brian May is? Yeah. Brian May is the lead guitarist for Queen. Yeah. He's at the house. So it's Axl, Brian May, myself, my wife, and 2 other people that work for him. And he's having a dinner party. And he's like, he wants everything to be perfect, right? So he gets everything going. He's like helping make the dinner. He's like really into this dinner party. But in the dining room where we're going to eat is a moth. And he has like 25-foot ceilings. And this moth would not go away. So he says, Craig, get a ladder and get rid of that moth. So I'm on the ladder. We're all like, there's 6 of us, not Brian and Axl. We're all trying to get rid of this moth. 25-foot ceilings. We're throwing shoes at it. This is not happening. So he's getting, I see him pacing. He's getting upset. He's like, we're about to eat dinner. I need that moth out of there. And he goes, all right, fine, I'll do this. Craig, get on the ladder and keep no. First he goes upstairs. Fine, I will take care of this. He goes upstairs and he comes back downstairs with a shotgun. Seriously. And then he says to me, get on the ladder and take a newspaper and keep the moth in the corner of the room, and then I'll shoot it. I'm like, I don't get paid enough money. Now, I don't know much about guns, but I heard shotguns spray. It's not one bullet. There's a lot of stuff going around. So I don't know why I did it, but I got up on the ladder and I kept the moth in the corner with this newspaper. And sure enough, he blew a hole in his roof, in his ceiling. And the next day I had to fix it. But it's funny. He does this. First of all, he gets underneath the chair. I have a picture in my book. He gets underneath a chair with it. I'm like, what do you think the moth is going to do? Dive bomb you? It was for protection. And then he shoots the moth and he puts the rifle over and he walks off into the sunset as if he just did this huge thing. It was kind of funny.
Give that a round of applause.
Story. There are stories and next stories are back there later.
But you know what that says about you? You'll do anything. This man will do anything to make it happen. I'm telling you.
No. For that.
That's right. I know. We're getting there, aren't we? And again, our time's going to go like that. It's going to go quick. So first of all, when we are done, make sure you talk to him, because the courses that he teaches and what he does for students, for authors, for speakers, for trainers, what he's done, I was just at your course, right? It's just at your course in
Just
Dallas.
did a show in Dallas.
Yeah.
You were there.
I was there. You're going to do one in LA again, I hope soon.
December 6th and 7th.
We got to talk about it.
Sheraton Gateway, LAX.
I know the Sheraton. Give that a round of applause. So it is truly how to move yourself forward and how to make connections. He'll make sure you connect with everybody, and he's great about. That's what you're great about.
That's what I'm great about.
That's what you're great about. You're good. But talk about, since we're here, just really quickly, talk about your son for a minute, because we're going to run out of time.
You know what's really funny?
Yeah.
So Sheila E just mentioned this thing about follow your passion and all that stuff. And she was what was she before? She was going to be an Olympic thing. So my son, his name is Ryan. I have 3 kids in the music industry. I'm back in the music industry. I started a company with this really high profile guy. My name and my company's DAM. It's Disrupt Artist Management Network. And we manage bands, we put on festivals. We have a DAM podcast. Come to our DAM seminars, come to our DAM festivals. We're doing all this DAM stuff. I'm a Christian, right? And everyone tells me, you should name your fan base Damnation. I'm like, no, we can't do that. Anyway, so all my kids are musicians, and I'm back in the music industry again. But my son Ryan is a drummer for the band Thredge. You should all follow them on Spotify. They're about to launch big. We just got booked on the Mayhem tour for next summer, touring for 6 weeks with like Avenged Sevenfold, Slipknot. Yeah, baby. Yeah, you go. Yeah, so the name of the band again is Thredge. Thredge. Thredge is the name of the band. So anyway, so my son is growing up in Westlake Village, right here, and he is one of the top golfers in Southern California. My wife and I spent tens of thousands of dollars giving him golf lessons, and he was a scratch golfer. He came in 3rd in the state in California. We are like, woohoo, scholarships. He got all these D1 scholarships in 11th grade, and we're like, we don't have to pay for one of the colleges. And then he comes to us one day and he says, Mom, Dad, I don't want to play golf anymore. I'm a drummer. Now, we made the mistake of buying him a drum set a long time ago. But here's the thing, to our credit, we said, go for it, I get all emotional when I think about this, because he said it was the hardest thing for him to do, to tell us, because we thought he was going to be a golfer, and we're paying all this money. But it was the hardest thing for him to do. But to his credit, he said, this is what I want to do. And we should have known, because every time he played golf, we had to make him play. Go, you have to play today, 2 hours, Yet on drums, he'd play for 6 hours a day without us telling him. And he's become one of the top kid golfers in the United States and probably the world. He's touted by all these major people. They just got booked. He's already played Lollapalooza and Bottle Rock at 19 years old. And he followed, here's the lesson, right? Follow your passion. Don't do things just because it makes money or just because everyone says you should do something. Where you want to rehearse for 6 hours a day, that's what you got to do.
That's it. Give Mr. Craig Duswalt a thunderous round of applause. Thank you so much for being up here. You'll be over there. I'm telling you, when we're done tonight, you're going to want to talk to everybody who was on here on stage. You got that? Because they got something you should learn, something you should know, and just don't start telling them all about you. Everybody got that part? That's an important piece. All right, fantastic. So we're about to transition now. What's the word? Transition. Awesome. That's right. This is called panel time. But just 2 quick announcements, just so the audience knows, and then we're going to get ready. Because I think, Prisa, you're on the first, right? The first panel? Okay, good. All right, fantastic. We have 2 partnerships with the Los Angeles Tribune we wanted everybody to know. Number 1, if you've ever heard, who's heard of Chicken Soup with a Stole? Yeah. Mr. Mark Victor Hansen is now partnered with the Los Angeles Tribune. Give that a thunderous round of applause. Number 2, there's a gentleman named Tony Robbins. And have you ever seen Tony? Anybody ever seen Tony Robbins? Really? That's it? There's a gentleman named Joseph McClendon III, who has been his right hand for 30 years. Joseph McClendon, after I got off a phone call just yesterday, when he was in Dublin, he's doing a tour right now on a big show, is partnering with myself, Mary Glorfield, and the Los Angeles Tribune to bring you bigger, better, and information around the world. Give that a thunderous round of applause. It's a great day. And it's really, again, about people it's joining the mission. Are you making a difference? Are you making a change? And I'm in. And that's what we're looking for every single day. So with that being said, I'm going to give this up to the Miss Wonderful. You ready for that?
Oh, I'm ready.
She is a Clubhouse influencer. She's been around the world. Yes, you have. And you're going to go around the world now too, right? Is that good? She's huge in the tech and AI industry. Let's give it up for Parisa Rose.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? All right. If I could have my panelists come on up. We've got Dr. Dar, we've got Karen, Jake, and Dr. Catrice. Fix this chair real quick. It's been bothering me on the screen this whole time. Thank you. Go ahead and file in that, everyone. All right. Feel free to take a seat, get cozy. Now tell me, have you guys been enjoying tonight? Yes. Yeah? Okay, panelists. We're streaming on the internet right here. You are live on the internet. So make sure you see the camera, say hi to the camera. Hi, everyone.
We love the camera.
We love the camera. We do. All right. So I'd like to go. We're going to go quickly. We've got just a few minutes together here, but they're going to be a powerful few minutes, right? So if I could go quickly through each one of you. Tell me your name, what people know you as, let's say Monday to Friday, and one thing that no one knows about you.
My name is Karen Hall, and I am the host of the Hero Within podcast. And one thing that people do not know about me, most people, is that I was born 2.5 months premature, and I weighed 1 pound 13 ounces shortly after birth. And they said I would be a vegetable, and miraculously, I'm not. I'm so very grateful.
I am Dr. Catrice Austin, also known as the Queen of Smiles, host of the Let's Talk Smiles podcast. And one thing that no one knows about me is when I was 15, I was my mother's birth coach for my sister. I helped her deliver my sister. So that was very exciting.
Wow. That's beautiful. Yes. I don't know how I got next to the best smile in the business. So I'm Jake Lindang. I'm the co-host of Total Disruption with my co-host Michael Labersi, 3-time best-selling, award-winning author. And what the ironic part about that, and what most people don't know about me, is I almost failed high school because I couldn't pass English. But don't let that stop you.
Yeah. Glad you passed.
I am Dr. Dar Radfar, also known as Dr. Rad. By the way, you guys are all rad. I fell asleep at the wheel in 2009. I crashed my car into a tree not knowing I have sleep apnea. And it's been my lifelong mission to help all of you sleep better and also maybe sleep in the bedroom again with your partner if you snore. So I help people snore less and sleep better.
Wonderful. I believe on our last broadcast, we talked about water swishing, if I can recall correctly. Yeah, if you guys are not water swishing, do it. Right. So I would like, we've got a few minutes left. We're going to go a little less than 2 minutes each. So let's streamline this beautifully. I would like to know if there's one insight you could leave everyone here listening with, your greatest insight that you've gained along the way, along your life, as you've stepped into your excellence here right now. What would that one insight be?
Well, one of the greatest insights that I have had is the power of empathy. And I am known as the Queen of Empathy. People call me that. And I have found that if I can just have empathy for you, and I can try to look at things from your situation, then we can be one, and we can be united, and we can dissolve the differences between us. And as Sheila E was talking about love, and I know Rocio and Angel, in their book, The Orchid, they talk so much about love and this journey to come to love in our relationships. To me, that is the most important thing. And I feel like that is something that God has called me to do. I've had a lot of challenges in relationships, and so it hasn't been easy, but it has been so worth it. And because of that, I teach other people now how they can develop empathy and grow in their emotional intelligence so that we can all have greater love in our life.
I'm gonna copy off of you with the power of a smile. I became a dentist because when I was 15, I hated my smile. I had a big old gap. You talked about my smile today, but it wasn't always like this. And it just took 1 year of braces, y'all. I wore those braces, the metal braces, not the clear ones that we have now. I wore those for a year, and let me tell you, when I got those braces off, I felt like Miss America. I felt like Beyonce. I felt like the most beautiful girl in the world, and that's what made me want to become a dentist. The way people embraced me, the confidence that I got. It is your business card, it is your mood ring, it is the first thing that people notice about you, and you can really change someone's life in their day with just a smile. So smile is very powerful. Love it.
Amen to that. You wear it well. So three things I'll tell you. One is, Sheila E said it earlier, how do you keep the spark? Gratitude. That is the place to start. If you're having a growly day, like here's the actual neuroscience. You cannot be grumpy and growly in the same space. Can't do it. Can't possibly do it. Be grateful. Craig said it earlier. We just heard him talk about this, and it was show up like somebody's always watching. There's always a job interview out there, and there's always an opportunity. When you show up that way, like that is such a powerful statement. And then the thing that's really impacted me in all of my businesses and in writing the books especially is understanding that it is not about me. It is not about me. Writing my book it started as I want to share my message, but that's not the reality. It's what is the message you want to hear? What's most important to you, and how can I share that with you? So when you take that away and it's not about you, yes, we can all say that servant's heart of what can I do for that person, and that's generally true. But take it one step further. What does that person need? And that makes you think differently.
Absolutely.
Wow, those are some real good new age consciousness type of information, right? I was 6 years old when I experienced my childhood trauma. I escaped my country on horseback, and I was constantly being told that one night, don't fall asleep. If you fall asleep, you're going to fall off the horse and die. And as I explained earlier, I fell asleep in 2009. But I don't play victim. We cannot sit in victim mode and create that energy or space that's driven from ego, from fear, from resentment, from anger. It's not happening to you, it's just happening. And if you're able to move from that place of ego and fear and move into some sort of courageous efforts and moving forward and not living in victim mode, then you can enter a space of love and empathy and compassion. And if one day we're all lucky, maybe even enlightenment, because if we're there, when you take your last breath, pun intended, as I do treatments for sleep apnea and breathing all the time, when you take your last breath, hopefully you rest in peace.
Yeah. Wow. I know I took away quite a few nuggets here. Did you all?
Yes.
That was powerful. You blew me away, all of you. Wow. Talk about the breath and the smile, and really focusing on the other, what people are actually needing, willing to listen to understand what that is. Leading with empathy. You all are so amazing. If we could give these panelists a round of applause. So amazing. All right, we have another panel coming right up, and I'm gonna pass the mic to Miss Karen right next to me. She's gonna be leading the next panel.
All right, come on out.
Give them a thunderous round of applause.
All right, so we are so excited to have our next panel, and these wonderful ladies just have so much talent. I mean, incredible talent that is sitting up here, and so we are just so happy to welcome them. So if you could start and tell us your name and what lights you up.
That's a Great question. I'm Erin Schmidt. I am the host of Living a Bella Vita podcast. I also am the editor-in-chief and founder of Bella Vita magazine and a host of other businesses called Bella Vita. And what lights me up is on my show getting to the core of what makes people tick and how they've overcome challenges. And then I always ask them, what is their definition of living a beautiful life? And I'm really loving the answers I'm getting. It'll probably be a book. So, so yeah, it's fun just uncovering what people are going through and what motivates them.
Hi, I'm Chris Ashley. I'm the author of Change Your Mind to Change Your Reality, which some of you might have purchased tonight when you bought a ticket. Thank you for that. I'm also the host of Change Your Mind with Chris Ashley podcast. And what lights me up is I am such a seeker of knowledge, such a seeker of truth. And I go down so many rabbit holes. And I just get so excited and so passionate about so many different topics, personal development and business and spirituality and science. And that's what my podcast is about as well. So thanks for asking. I'm so happy to be here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Fields. I am the host of the Fields Well podcast. I say this is your destination for growth and transformation. It is a podcast on self-improvement, and what really lights me up is helping individuals strengthen the relationship they have with themselves, to love themselves a little bit more deeply, because what do they say on the airplane? You have to put on your mask before helping anyone else. And so I think it's so important to remember to really give yourself that attention and love that you deserve. When you look to your left and look to your right, you are already with the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and that is you. And that person is amazing. So make sure you really love yourself and care for yourself. And so that's what lights me up, is how people find unique ways to do that. And that's a lot of what I talk about on my podcast. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristine Castanini, and I am a licensed psychologist, but I also have a podcast called Behind the Bite. And on there I talk about eating disorders and body image issues. And really what lights me up is when I see, both in my private practice and here on the podcast, people's transformations from really struggling with all the self-hatred with body image issues and really struggling with eating disorders, and just the transformation when they are overcoming all those struggles, and they're just completely different people. So it's really why I do the work. It's like, I don't even consider it work. Many people said that in other panels earlier today, and I just felt the same way. I was like, I'm just doing this, and I love it. So that's what lights me up.
Hi, I'm Kristine Genovese. I am an author as of tonight. So I'm very excited to be here with everybody. My book is called the Soul. Well, it's Healing Through Soul Intelligence. And what really lights me up is helping to heal the world physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. My other role in the world is also being the Chief Growth Officer of Nutritional Frontiers, which is a nutraceutical company where we provide healthy products to help people heal naturally. So I try and work on multiple levels, the physical level, the emotional level, spiritual and energetic level, and really getting, in the functional medicine world, to the root cause of all illness, which is trapped emotion. So I'm pretty excited to be here.
All right, you can tell all of these ladies are just absolutely amazing. So now I want to know, what is a struggle that you have had that has led you to do what you do today?
Well, I just in the last few months have been able to talk about this. As I was getting ready to launch my company, Bella Vita, which means beautiful life, my father took his own life. And it was devastating, to say the least. But that fueled my passion. Excuse me. It fueled my passion for really helping people to love themselves. I own a skincare company, and I always say that, beauty isn't skin deep. It's what you are on the inside that matters. And if we can pass that love on a daily level to other people, then hopefully we can touch people's lives and they won't go down to that level of despair that they feel hopeless. So, yeah, okay. Sorry, I know that's a bummer, but.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And you're giving me the courage to share my own story. So what put me on this path is I was sexually abused by a family member for 4 years. And when my large extended family found out, they disowned me. And as you can imagine, that put me in a really dark place. And eventually I had a spiritual awakening and I started to come out of it. And as I changed my mind and started to get better, my mother started to get worse because she didn't have these amazing teachers and books and mentors and healing practices that I did. And she spent about 15 years in bed taking a lot of different medication, including she was on a fentanyl patch. And she would fall down all the time. She would nod off at the dinner table. She would forget conversations we had the day prior. And I realized eventually that my mother was my biggest teacher because for every step she took deeper into depression and illness and victimization, I climbed in the other direction out of that tunnel because I saw what happens to a human body and spirit when they go down that path. And it's a choice, and happiness and healing is a choice. Thanks. Such incredible stories. Thank you both for sharing. There was a point when I wasn't comfortable sharing my story. And now I'm happy to say that I feel like our adversity can be our biggest advantage. When I was 14 years old, I was in a horse accident and I woke up from a coma with a traumatic brain injury. That wasn't the hardest part. I thought I had walked away unscathed. However, nerve damage started happening and I went in for different surgeries to repair the nerve damage. And this just kept coming up. Certain things kept happening related to that accident. And I finally realized instead of asking, why me, why did this happen to me, that I could shift my mindset and be grateful that I was still alive and that I'm here now to be able to talk to you about it and help others who may be going through something difficult or something challenging and know that we all will. Life is not easy and I don't really wish an easy life for anyone because it is those difficult moments that really strengthen us and really show us what it means to be a human. And so I am so grateful that that event happened because I wouldn't be sitting here today if it didn't. And so that is why I started my podcast. It is why I'm so fascinated about personal development and self-improvement because I really believe we have it all within us to overcome difficult times.
Thank you all for sharing too. I think we all possibly have our own personal reasons for why we're doing what we're doing, and certainly also being a psychologist, I was taught not to share anything about myself, and so it was a big leap of faith to start my podcast and share my own story. It was like, oh my gosh, my patients are listening, my family's listening. But I too had an eating disorder, and I realized when I was going through it, I didn't know I had an eating disorder. I thought I was just failing at dieting over and over and over again. And I think if I had something like that when I was going through it, I would have maybe not almost died. Because quite literally, I almost did. And it's nice to hear now from people like, oh my gosh, like because I'm hearing other people's stories, I don't feel alone. I realized I needed treatment. And so that is what keeps me doing it. And that's really why I started it, because I think in hearing other people's stories, you don't feel alone.
Well, we don't have that kind of time for me to share everything that's happened to me in my life at this moment, in terms of why I started the Soul Intelligence Method or how it came to me. But truly, just experiencing trauma, living through trauma, understanding self-limiting beliefs, understanding how the body responds to trapped emotion and what's stuck inside of you is really what got me to start the Soul Intelligence Method. The science behind it, bioenergetics, is really, if you feel really good, physically, mentally, emotionally, you're doing well, and vice versa, right? When you're not feeling well physically, mentally, and emotionally, typically there's something underneath that. And so it caused me to really look at what the root cause of all illness is. And it typically is trapped emotion, unresolved trauma, repeating patterns, self-limiting beliefs, all of that stuff that gets stuck in the physical that needs to shift up and out of the body so that you can be the best version of yourself. And so I feel really privileged working with functional medicine doctors to help holistically heal the whole person. And a lot of my stories and a lot of the stories of those I've worked with, hundreds of thousands of people that have been touched by the method so far, especially healer stories, because to your point, we're all like Chiron, the wounded healer, and most healthcare professionals and healers have had to walk through their own wounds in order to be able to help heal others, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's amongst the panel. So
Yes.
There's lots to share.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I find that that's one of the things that is so interesting about the Los Angeles Tribune is how real people are. I mean, when you don't expect that you're going to hear people share, like tonight. I mean, who would have expected that these would have been the kind of stories that you would have heard celebrities share? And yet it's that connection that makes the difference. And that's one of the most beautiful things about the Los Angeles Tribune is the community and the connection. And with the Women's Journal, we have a whole amazing core of women, and with the podcast network, the same. And so I invite you, if you would like to be a part of the Los Angeles Tribune, you can go to the LA Tribune womensjournal.com to see our website. You have Michael Silver's phone number, and I'll give you mine. It's 928-242-5098. And I want to thank these women for being vulnerable, for being courageous, for sharing their message, not just with you tonight, but for sharing their messages with the world. And I appreciate so much what you're doing. They are just a little tiny slice of all the amazing people that we have at the Tribune. And I also want to thank Mo Rock for giving more platforms to women, because he is the one that had the vision. He said, we need more women on stages. We need more women that are getting their voice out there in podcasts and publishing. And so thank you to Mo Rock and to Michael Silvers and to Mary Glorfield for making this possible. And congratulate our panel. Jack, come on up. And Deepika.
Hello, everyone. So we're delighted and honored that, please sit.
We're about to wrap up,
Come
so
on
this is our
over,
last panel.
that you are all here with us at Barnes & Noble's. This is such a special conversation and discussion because you are going to hear more from three authors. I know you just heard a little bit about Kristine, who we're celebrating because her book came out just this week, Healing Through Soul Intelligence. But we have with us today Jack Rasmussen. He is the author of Yin Yang, the elusive symbol that explains the world, and the Dalai Lama wrote the foreword for his book. Jack is with us today. We are here with Deepika Sandhu, who wrote Hello Universe, It's Me, How I Scheduled a Breakdown and Manifested a New Life, and How You Can Too. And delighted to have you here. And she flew in from San Francisco. And then we're here with Kristine. So Jack, Deepika, and Kristine are all Los Angeles Tribune bestsellers. What I think is so special about each and every one of you is that you went on your own journey within, kind of your healing journey, your exploration journey about who you are, to really dig deep to write your book. So Deepika, I'd love to start with you. Hello Universe, It's Me, How I Scheduled a Breakdown and Manifested a New Life. You talked about scheduling a breakdown. Can you please share with all that are here today about what your experiences were like that led you to the moment where you're like, I'm scheduling this breakdown, and kind of how you got to the point where you said you wanted to capture that experience in your book?
Absolutely. Well, typical type A, hyper-scheduled personality. I could not just break down at any given day. I was not available for that. Yeah, I was not available for that. So I realized one day, crying in my closet, that my life did not feel the way it needed to feel. I did everything everybody said to have a great life. I checked every box. Like I was winning at the game of life, or so I thought. But I realized that anything that I was doing, all of it, none of it was lighting me up. None of it was making me happy. So I decided, because I'm a problem solver, Silicon Valley business executive, like if I can help big tech companies sort out their issues, I can sort out my own. So I will schedule a breakdown and I will figure this out. I scheduled it 4 months in advance. And I said, I will take all of June off and I will sort out my life. So yeah, that was the inspiration. I just scheduled it in, quite literally. But it was the best 4 weeks of my life. It was 7 years ago that I did that. And my entire life changed thereafter, because you just have to slow this down. The hamster wheel of life, right? The rushing, the moving, the hustling, to actually be quiet enough to hear what the universe is trying to tell us. And it was like, when I did quiet it down, it was like my future self was like, hi, we've been waiting for you. So nice to have you here.
It's so beautiful, right? You said your future self was like, hi, we've been waiting for you. It's so nice to have you here. You dove into writing as an author. You've written other books, but more recently, you left your job in Silicon Valley as an executive in tech to launch your own publishing company, Soul Sparks Press. And that's all about helping individuals find that spark of their soul within them and go down their own kind of life journey. Before we get to Kristine and Jack, can you talk a little bit about why it was important for you to kind of start Soul Sparks Press, and also the natural flow that kind of led to Soul Sparks Press starting as well? Because I think that's really interesting how you got there.
I realized the magic of bringing stories to life. Like many of you that are authors, we can see the impact that our words are having on other people. I can read the reviews. People will meet you, send you messages on Instagram, and you're seeing all the time the magic that is getting created from your words, from your life that seems so mundane and not that interesting as you were going through all of it, but somehow is resonating with so many other people. And I just realized that I wanted it to be my life's work, right? I wanted to help bring all of these sweepingly inspirational stories to life each and every day. And I tell everybody before I started this company that I would meet, like, oh, you should write a book, you should write a book, you should write a book. Your life is so interesting. And somebody at the beginning of this year turned to me and said, Deepika, you write it with me and I'll do it. And I said, let's go. We are 30 plus authors today, scheduled to release a book a month in 2025. And it's because the world needs all the inspirational stories that are out there.
Wow. The world needs all the inspirational stories. And when you go down your own journey, your soul really sparks. I mean, Jack, you have traveled around the world. I'm going to come back to you in a moment, Kristine. Jack, you've traveled around the world, right? And explored spirituality. And you ended up coming to the place where you learned a little bit about yourself, but you wrote your book, Yin Yang. What was the inspiration behind that? And what is an aspect of understanding yourself that you came upon as you traveled around the world that you really wanted people to be aware about through your book?
Great questions, Alicia. First of all, it's an honor to be on this panel with these independent and strong women. I love the colors you're wearing too. It's beautiful dresses. Basically, the inspiration behind Yin Yang, it's not Yang, by the way, it's Yang.
My bad.
No. I said it like that too until I was talking to different people in Asia. But the inspiration was discovering my own sense of balance and security, and that was only achieved through looking at the bad things that I still do, and my bad habits, and also the good habits, and looking at it all holistically and realizing that it's not good and bad. We all have good and bad days. Yin Yang is not good and bad, and I hear this fallacy a lot that yin is bad and yang is good, or the black side is darkness and the white side is light. That's a total fallacy. The point of my book is to teach people what it truly means, which is we need a balance of both sides. Femininity, masculinity, contradiction we need mutual inclusion. We need this dynamic between the two and this interaction between the two constantly in order to be our best selves and to achieve balance. And it's a constant struggle in my life I'm still trying to achieve, but that's what I tried to write.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So you scheduled a breakdown. You traveled around the world and really discovered what the exploration of balance can look like. And Kristine, soul intelligence. You went through life experiences and you help people connect from their soul perspective from the inside out. And you help people clear their energetic blockages and clear the things that are holding them back. Congratulations again for your book coming out this week, which is so exciting. It went live on Amazon today, and the books are out tomorrow. But for you, I mean, you do this work, soul intelligence method work, and your book is Healing Through Soul Intelligence. What is it about your method and what is it about the soul that you really want people to understand and learn and connect with and grow through your book?
Well, I think we can all relate to IQ and how important that is no matter what field you're in, right? And EQ, I heard somebody talk earlier about empathy and how important, understanding emotion is. What soul intelligence is really tapping into that inner knowing and being clear enough to hear that inner voice. Although I didn't schedule the breakdown, I got plucked out of corporate America and wound up was being on my last corporate turnaround. And I wound up having time to really think and go within and really think about what do I really want to do for the rest of my life. And it happened March 12th of 2020, which was the height of COVID. I lost my big corporate job, got fired for the first time in my life, which was a big shock because I had just gotten a performance bonus. So you want to talk about shock of a lifetime, right? So I got plucked out, and it really allowed me a lot of time and space to do the prayer, to do the meditation, and to allow those messages to come in and the method to be delivered to me, in essence. And I'm a very grounded person, so learning to come out of the spiritual closet was kind of scary. As I shared with you, I also operate in the business world as well. And so being able to bring the science behind why you're able to clear these blockages, that we're all energetic beings. We all know that from, fourth grade science class, right? We're protons, neutrons, electrons with this energetic field around us. So it's not that hard to understand that things get stuck in people, places, or things as much as it can get stuck in your mental, emotional, or physical body, right? And so when you learn, when you understand what those things are, you're able to shift them. But most of us don't know what they are because they're stuck in the subconscious mind, which is really difficult to access. And so my method is able to actually get into what is stuck in the subconscious mind that we're not even aware of, that we're still holding on to in the physical. That's manifesting typically through those self-limiting beliefs or those stuck patterns or that old trauma response that you're seeing the world through.
Wow. So powerful because you each have your own unique perspective, but it's really all about that connection with who am I inside and what is coming out of me through me. How am I responding, reacting? How do I want to schedule some time, some quiet time to understand who I am and what it is that I want? Deepika, as you've connected with individuals that have read your book, I mean, you were in Miami, you're going to Mexico City soon, you were just speaking in Toronto. What is a part of the conversation that you've had with some of your readers that you really like individuals that are here to be aware about and know that has come up?
We talk a lot about big T traumas, like the big things that happen to people. And we think if we have smaller things that happen to us, it's not worthy of talking about or complaining about or wanting to change out of, right? So the big thing that resonates with most people that I talk to is we're giving a voice, a validation to all the little T traumas that are happening in our life each and every day. And they just add up and they add up and they add up and they create layers and layers of gunk within our lives, right? And so I think this, people really resonate with because it's living your life and understanding that, you don't have to like all of this, right? Just because everybody else says you should like it and this should be a good way of living doesn't mean it's a good way of living for you. You are allowed to have full permission to move forward with whatever you desire most in your life, even if it's completely off the grid, right? And whatever that might look like for you.
Wow. What about for you, Jack? I mean, you've traveled around the world and you're trying to help people really kind of understand and navigate their understanding of self, but also spirituality. What is something that you really connected with your readers?
Yeah, well, I think what parallels what both of you have said is that the only way to realize what your true authentic voices and your own feelings are is to slow down and to ask yourself important questions without other people always telling you how you're supposed to feel or what you should be feeling. So I think giving yourself the alone time, giving yourself the time to reflect, maybe to break down if you need to break down, but scheduling that alone time is really important. And that's basically yin, is the slow, quiet times to reflect. And I suggest journaling. Journaling has been amazing for me. So create a gratitude journal or any type of journal in the morning when you wake up or right before you go to sleep. And those are your subconscious thoughts, and you'll start to see your true voice coming out on paper. And I really encourage that.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Kristine, last parting words as we wrap up and we get ready for networking, for you all to connect further with individuals in the audience with your books. Soul Intelligence came out. What is quickly one kind of principle that you think people can go home with tonight to kind of connect to their soul before having a session with you, of course?
I think, obviously everybody said it. We have to slow down, right? We have to eliminate the distractions, and we have to have quiet time in order to be able to hear those messages. And I'm a big believer in both prayer and meditation. To me, prayer is sending out the request, and meditation is listening for those answers to come back. So I really feel like they work hand in hand. And I'm also a big believer in journaling. I think it's fantastic to be able to get those ideas out. And we're all here because we manifested something. And for me, I've done my journaling for years and really focused on visualizing and feeling and embodying the vision. And so to be here, actually living the vision that I had created, I'm pretty stoked. So it's really been an amazing experience, and I'm still going, is this really happening?
It's here.
It's really here.
We're here. Congratulations again. I think it's such a power of, right? Like everyone kind of created these moments, and we're here. Michael, I'd love for you to come up and join us as we get ready to end this part of the program and really connect with you all as community here. Michael, what this whole experience, books, podcasts, and entertainment is all about to close us out.
Absolutely. Give them a thunderous round of applause. It's the biggest thing is about community, right? It's about being, follow the thing. We had it so much tonight. What is your heart, right? Follow that. Find the thing that you love to do. Make sure that it's supportive and helps other people, and go out and get it done. And that every single time will make a difference with everything you do. We've talked to millions of people around the world. We're having too much fun at the Los Angeles Tribune. From myself, from this amazing panel, from all the amazing guests, from Sheila E to Maurice to Anna, right? We've had quite the night. To Aaron, to Craig, to the other panelists, the team that's here. I want to thank everybody for being here. I always forget to thank somebody, and they're like, you forgot to thank me. But we just know we're one team, one family, and we're doing this together. And that's all that counts, and that's how we do it. And also, the man behind the camera back there who never gets on stage, we have Mr. Ronnie back there who you can't see. But literally, you never see those guys, right? But they make it happen, they make it done, and he was amazing. And the connections and the people that we know from the Los Angeles Tribune and Mr. Mo Rock. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is Michael Silvers. It's been a great night. We're going to give it over to the audience that's virtual and the team that's there. You guys, we'll talk to you soon. By the way, see this book? We've got books back for you. Go get them.
All of these books are back there. Please connect with the authors and go get them.
There you go. Connect with the authors. Get to make sure you get to know them. Talk to Maurice. He stayed here to talk to you. Don't bombard him with questions, right? Don't tell him, oh, I can't believe you were Nico. And make a difference every single day in everything that you do. We'll all be back there. They need to clear this area, so if you can just clear out and move back there, that'd be great. Give yourselves a thunderous round of applause for being here.
Well, I'm going to ask that they bring us along. We're going to have the red carpet. I hope that they give us a little bit of a backdrop. We'd love to know from our audience. Thank you so much for staying with us. We've got about almost 500 people playing, 500, 600 people live right now. And we are just delighted. So I am going with Parisa Rose, who has actually the camera right now, into the area of, of course, all the books and all of the, we lost our visuals. Okay. They decided that they're not going to give us visuals right now. Danielle, would you like to come up and just, have a conversation with me and tell us what was your favorite part of the event? Daniel.
Yes, absolutely. What amazing speakers that were on the panel. I really enjoyed Craig's vulnerability and just his life lessons and stuff like that. And just everybody all the speakers just giving all their background and their just inspirational stories. It was just really impressive.
Absolutely. My favorite, I am biased, as the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Tribune. I'm also the director of the LA Tribune bestselling division, bestseller recognition division. So my favorite was the bestselling authors. Would love to invite all of you. I know there is a book that has changed your life. And the beauty about the Los Angeles Tribune bestseller recognition is it levels the playing field. It's not about the number of sales. It's not about the number of investment. It's about the content of the book. It's about how it creates an impact, the potential of it to change lives. So it levels the playing field regardless of whether it's someone in Ghana who has had very little resources, who wrote their story, or it's a multimillionaire in New York. It's the same criteria. There are 3 criteria. So I'm going to share it with you too, Daniel. There are 3 criteria for LA Tribune bestseller recognition. The first one is excellence. And excellence means doing the best with what you got. So of course, the best with what someone has, for example, in Bangladesh, is going to look very different with the best that someone has in Hollywood. But it's doing the best with what you got, whatever your resources are available. We consider that. The second thing is we also look at the social relevance of the book, whether it has societal impact. And the third is the impact for positive change. So if you have a favorite book that has changed your life, that has impacted your life, there is no duration. We don't say the last 2 years, the last 5 years, because there are so many good books out there that probably my favorite one is It Works from 1926. I am nominating that because it's got to come back. Like, people have forgotten about it. People don't even know it exists. So, that right there is the essence of the Los Angeles Tribune bestseller. I love what Coach Elizabeth Harper just said. That's awesome. Absolutely. And so, it highlights the books over the course of the years, whether it's Napoleon Hill or it's Stephen Covey, but at the same level, someone who's writing right now from Africa is at the same category. It levels the playing fields. That's our vision for the LA Tribune bestseller recognition campaign. So I'm very excited. I guess we're not going to see the red carpet anymore. They're no longer here. We love that you have stayed with us. We love that you have spent this evening with us. We have a lot of in-person events that we have planned that we're going to bring you along. You're part of the LA Tribune family. The Los Angeles Tribune is global. Much as it's Los Angeles Tribune is a name, Los Angeles in itself is a global influence. So it just makes sense that LA Tribune is a global company. What are your thoughts, Daniel, being a baby part of the LA Tribune? What does it feel like? What is it like to be a part of the family of the Los Angeles Tribune?
One word: blessing. It is such a true blessing to be part of this amazing organization and just be part of something more, It's just a blessing.
Absolutely. I love that. To me, that is also the word that I would have. It's absolutely a blessing to be a blessing also to others, being a blessing that reaches the nation. So be a part of the Los Angeles Tribune. I am trying to find how you can connect with us, but it's community at latribuneonline.com. Again, that's community at latribuneonline.com. Connect with us, email us and let us know that you'd like to be in our community and you're going to be part of who we're going to be sending emails to as part of our events, whether it's virtual, it's in person, whether we're coming to your city or we're sending out special gifts from a lot of the speakers, the experts, the authors that's around us. There's such an abundance in the Los Angeles Tribune. So thank you so much for sharing the evening with us. Daniel, I'm going to give you the last words as we close the evening.
Absolutely. So, from all I just wanted to say thank you to Sheila E. and just from the Los Angeles Tribune, Mo Rock and Michael Silvers, we thank you all for joining us and just have a blessed day.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our hosts, Michael Silvers, Alicia Magnus Lewis, to the volunteers of the LA Tribune team that is on site. Ronnie is our videographer. Parisa Rose was also there. Karen Hall is there. Lauren Fields. We've got a lot of people that were supporting the event. Thank you so much. And even behind the scenes, Mary Glorfield, the executive assistant of Tony Robbins for 18 years, who also has put the syntax of all of the speakers together. Our CEO, Maurice. Thank you so much. And with that, we're just going to give you a little bit of a reminder of the LA Leadership Week that generated 1.3 million views in May of last year. And we're gearing up bigger and better for May of next year for LA Leadership Week. But this is going to be a reminder. And if you want to be a part of it, you want to be a speaker to speak on that event, we're already putting the speakers together. Make sure you email us at community@latribuneonline.com. But here's our ending. Have a great night.